Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, then my name is Uniko MUA, and if you haven't guessed from the title of today's video, I'm going to show you how to do your brows. So I always get a lot of comments on how I do my brows, and I did a Twitter poll because I'm loving a Twitter poll lately. On what you guys would like to see next, and you guys wanted to see how I do my brows. So today I'm going to show you how I get these babies on my face. So let's get straight into this video. Okay, so first, as you can see, my brows are pretty thick already. But I feel like I have like sparse areas, maybe a little bit here, and I've got a few gaps, as you can see, on my brow on this side. And this side of my brows are quite thin down here and in the front. So that's the main reason why I fill in my brows. So I'm going to show you how I do my brows as if I was filming a tutorial. Sometimes on a daily basis I may only just use a pencil just to fill in a little bit of the gaps. But for my videos and for Instagram, I definitely go on a full-on cut Instagram brow. And I'm going to show you how I get that. So first I'm just going to take a spoolie. I'm going to use the spoolie end of precisely my brow pencil. This one's finished. So I'm just going to brush through my brow hairs and get them into a place of how I want them to fall on my face. Now you notice that I haven't done any of my base and I'm doing my brows before I actually do my foundation. I do that because I feel like once I have my brows on and then I can carve them out the way I want them, I feel like my brows pop after I've done my makeup because I use a white concealer, and I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. So now that I'm happy with how my brows look, first thing I do is I go in with a brow pencil just to draw out the shape. And this is the high definition brow define brow pencil in the color Vamp. I was using the Benefit Precisely My Brow for a little while, but this is such an amazing brow pencil. It's really creamy, it's soft, and it glides on and just gives your brow that definite high definition that you want when you're doing Instagram pictures or when you're doing a YouTube tutorial. If you're wondering how you know where to put the arch or how to put the brow, I think the best way to do that, so I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. The best way to do that is if you put your pencil, so if you put your pencil on the end of your nose and map there, so that's where your brow should end. So that should be about here. That's where your brow should end, right here. Now if you take that from the same position, take the pencil and move it to the top like this diagonally. That is where your arch should be. So your arch, as you can see, mine falls in that space, should be about there. I'm just going to mark it with a pencil so you can see. So your brow should start here, where your nostril meets. Should start here. That's where your arch should be. And if from that same position, if you take it and pop it to the corner of your eye, that is where your brow should end. So right about there. Going to pop a pencil mark right there just so that you guys can see what I mean. So that's basically mapping out where my brow, so the start of my brow, the arch, and the end of my brow should be about there. So I'm going to start drawing out the shape of my brow. As you can see, I'm taking really small strokes and I'm taking my time with my brow because you don't want to rush it. And then I'm going to go in and do the same with the top. So pop my arch where that dot is, and then I'm going to join my tail into a point. Now when I get my brows done, I actually ask her to make my tail into a point, which makes it easier for me when I'm filling in my brows to make that point. But you can go ahead, if you don't have the point, you can go ahead and fill in your brows the way you do have, the way your eyebrows naturally fall. Now I stopped drawing my line about here because this for me is where my eyebrows get a bit more sparse, and to be fair, I don't want to fill in that side of my eyebrows too heavy. I want it to be feathered out. So I tend to leave my brows this way. I take my brow gel and I'm using the NYX Tame frame in the color Expresso, and an angled brush like this. This is an angled eyebrow brush from Zoeva. This is the 322 brush. And I dip, so I take my brow brush and I dip it into the gel. I tap a little bit off the end because obviously you don't want too much. And then I go in and fill in the inside of my brow and just neaten up that line. Don't worry if you make a mistake because we're going to go ahead and clean it up afterwards. Now when you come to this end of the brow, you just want to take the tip end of it, point it upwards, and just light strokes feather out that section of your eyebrow. So I'm just going to take my spoolie and just run the spoolie through just so that everything is all neat and well blended into my eyebrow. Just gonna run the spoolie through the bottom where we drew that line and just blend it all in there. So that's one eyebrow done. So I'm just going to show you the same thing again on the other eyebrow. For those of you who are beginners, you just want to map out your brow. So right there is where I want it to end, I want it to start, and then that is where my arch is going to be up here, and that is where my brow is going to end. So that's going to be the tail of my brow. And then I'm just going to take the pencil and I'm just going to draw the shape of my brow. Again, if you make mistakes, don't worry because we are going to clean it up afterwards. Now, most people think that you have to make your brows look symmetrical, but I think the best thing to remember is that your brows are sisters, not twins. One brow is always going to be different to the other one. Mine, this side is, as you can see from mine, this side is more pointy and this side is more rounded, and that's just the way my brows are, unfortunately. So before I set my brows, I'm just going to carve them out with a white concealer. This is just a Flash palette from Urban Decay. So I'm just going to take this white concealer on a very thin brush, and I'm just going to use this to carve out the shape, the proper shape, and clean up the eyebrows. The reason why I use a white concealer is I feel like once my foundation is on, that white concealer helps to highlight my brows so that they just pop from my face, basically. So I'm just carving out the entire section of my brow down to the tip, and this looks really funny, but once my foundation and everything is on, you're not even going to be able to tell that this is there. So that's how I like my brow. So now that I'm happy with the way that looks, I'm going to go ahead and use the Ready Set Brow to set my brows. I have really long brow hairs, so I have to set my brows, otherwise they just go everywhere. And that is my brows done. So now I'm just going to go off camera and finish off the rest of my makeup, so then you can see what the finished look looks like. So I'll be right back. So this, guys, is the finished look. This is what my brows look like once my makeup and stuff is on. It looked a bit crazy when we first started, but once it's all pulled together, it actually comes together really, really well. I'm just going to give you a close-up of my eyebrow area just so you can see what it looks like. So this is what my eyebrow looks like close up. As you can see, the white marks have now gone, and it's blended in really, really well with my foundation. So I hope that you guys liked this how-to video, and if you want to see more how-to videos, then please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all of my future videos. And just before I go, I really do want you guys to know that no matter how much makeup or whatever you do, you should always know that you're beautiful no matter what. I think sometimes we all get lost in what we're doing, but you should always know that you're beautiful no matter what you're doing. But until next time, guys, bye.